On Something to Talk About, two women talk about opportunities for children by promoting reading, but that's not all the conversation. It'll also branch into discussion on raising your kids when your plate is full and preparing for motherhood, as is the case for one of my guests. That's On Something to Talk About. Thank you for joining us. Here we are again, Something to Talk About at King's Restaurant in Tamuning. We've got a table full of food coming, so you'll be seeing a lot of the servers come by because, you know, King's Restaurant has so many things on the menu that it's impossible to just pick one. So we picked a lot of things, including ice cream, because my friend here, the beautiful, gorgeous Sarah Philish, is in the show with us today, as well as Regine Biscoe-Lee. She's carrying. She is with a child now 7 months, right?
I'm entering my 7th month.
Yeah, this is the most exciting time.
Oh,
Have you?
Why?
No, because if you've never,
good.
yeah, you feel good, but you've never, your body's like adjusted, your spine is ready, and all that stuff.
You're
but
not
the thing is that,
yet.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
thanks.
All
Look,
right.
see, I told you, chicken stir fry with rice. That's for you. Look how nice and hot that is. Why didn't I order that?
Right.
It's good.
Wow, and tuna melt for Miss Philish. Oh, okay, that's nice.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys good? You can eat while we're talking if you don't mind. Do you need anything else like Tabasco or Fenadini?
Ketchup,
Can we get some ketchup, please? Yeah. See, this is how it goes. It's like it's an unbridled conversation because 3 chicks at a dining table in a restaurant with
Thank you so much.
I appreciate that, sweetie. Okay, so I was trying to make the point that, you know, that if you had morning sickness and all of that, and your body adjusting to it, all of that is now gone. So you're just enjoying. But you've had a great pregnancy, you said, right?
Absolutely smooth.
Wow.
I didn't even have morning sickness.
Wow.
I thought I did.
You know, we hate you right now. Right?
Yeah, all the mothers out there are like, okay, that's enough, Sarah.
Yeah.
Tell us about.
Well, and Regine Biscoe-Lee has had 2 children, 2 daughters.
I do.
And, you know, before we had realized that she was running for office, we'd already set up this interview. So theoretically, I can't charge her for this. But congratulations on making a stab at that.
Yeah, it's a huge.
You are a braver person
It's a
than I.
big jump. It's a big sacrifice for my family, like you mentioned. So we're excited. We'll see how it goes, and
Yeah.
we're looking forward to August.
You're
and
just
November.
you're so young. I have to tell you that. I mean, can I ask you how old you are?
I'm so young.
Well, you
Thank
are
No,
still
I'm
young.
34.
Okay, 30. Well, I mean, and I'm 56, so you know you're still so young. But I mean, it's a great time in your life. And I always say to people in their 30s, if you're gonna screw up, it's good to do it now because you still have time to fix it.
Yeah.
But the running for office is a really big challenge, and I know a lot of people feel it's a great service, a public service, to be able to give of yourself and your family's time
really is,
to the government for the people. But I got to tell you, this whole campaigning thing, I would rather just want to skip right to the election day.
No,
But do you
I
like
think,
that part?
Yeah, it's the exciting part, meeting people, talking to people, trying to figure out, you know, what's important to them, and everybody's different, you know.
So
they have
so far,
different
what's
issues
important to
and
them? What are they saying is important to them?
Big family issues.
Oh, yeah?
Big family issues. Just, I mean, obviously a lot of people are really concerned about their jobs, about the economy. There have been a lot of, you've been seeing it lately, people are more engaged. They're protesting certain developments, they're protesting.
They found the voice. No, absolutely. Guam Public has found their
wonderful.
voice, yeah.
And then also, you know, with all of the issues with the bomb threats and things like that, people are really engaged in Department of Education and a lot of the other issues that have come up. So it's a really exciting time. Big changes, I think, in Guam. So I'm really excited.
Well, I got to ask
Ready to
you.
go.
I have to ask you because I'm not sure anybody asked you. Did you have like this oh my gosh moment when they passed Bill 204 and it would decrease the salary of a senator? You're like, did you do that? Like, oh my gosh, that's a big pay cut from what I was expecting.
Yeah, but we're not really in there for the money. If I was going to be doing this for the money, I'd stay in the private sector. You know what I mean? And someone else had asked me this question before, and I just feel like it kind of goes back to our family, right? If we can't afford it, then we don't buy it. And that's kind of the same way I feel about the government. If we can't afford it right now for everybody to get this pay increase, then we shouldn't do it.
Okay.
And so, I mean, and I'm also really excited about focusing on other issues, not the pay raises. I know a lot of people want to talk about that, and that's the big buzz today, but we really need to be a lot more forward thinking and just figure out what's good for moms' families and things that we really care about.
Well, I tell you, you guys have come up with a pretty cool concept. Both of you are mother to be. Tell me how you became engaged and what was the motivation. Aside from the fact that you are going to be a mother, you don't currently have any children, but you guys have started an incredible program. It's a story hour, basically, right? And you do that. How often what's the frequency?
So it's once a month. And
Okay.
yeah, actually Sarah was able to join us for this past one, and it was so neat. And she got a lot of really great
Well, I saw the enthusiastic
feedback.
look on your face on Facebook. I think
the
you posted a
kids,
video.
too, they
Yeah, because
really
the
loved it.
kids liked it. But
Yeah.
what got you involved? What was the thing that motivated you to want to do something like that?
Well, I love to be involved with kids, you know, straight off. Like
Yeah.
when I was doing the whole Miss Guam thing, that was my most enjoyable moments, is going to the schools and talking to the kids, because I don't think it's that big of a deal to just talk to little kids, but to them it's a big deal. And so when she
Did they like it when you came? Sorry to interrupt you. Did they like it? Did you wear a crown and
Oh,
the
yeah.
sash? They dig that, don't
yeah,
they?
I have to wear my crown and sash, because that's, you know, they're like, oh my goodness, Miss Guam, whatever, and it's just a crown and sash, but to them it means a lot more.
Sure.
So I took
Right.
full advantage of that.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
And
But
you did something recently in another school, right?
yes,
With Frank.
St. John's invited Frank and I over to read to the kids also.
Okay.
And it's literally just 2-minute, 3-minute book reading.
But it's more than that. Frank, she's talking about is Frank the Crank Camacho. And he's just a delightful young man, just a delightful person. And he tries to do a lot in the community and take advantage of his position to
Right.
reach the kids, which I
Yeah.
think is so admirable. So when you were at St. John's, were they asking you to also participate in some kind of conversation about the importance of what he does and his
Well,
fighting?
Not so much. They just asked him to do some demonstrations. So he did stranger danger techniques for the little kids and things that would really be memorable for them.
Yeah.
Basic things like drop down. If you're walking down a dark alley and someone grabs you, you know, you don't just like
yank your hand away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to drop with level and pull away and yell help, 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 and split.
Oh.
Like there's certain things, you know, that kids
Good
don't-
advice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what's a little 3 or 4-year-old gonna remember? Just you
Yeah.
know, basic things. So he did little demonstrations, and they all
That must have been funny.
participated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was really cool. But
Yeah.
St. John's, the kids they're on their stuff. They
Yeah.
listen, so it was really easy.
Yeah, Nicus is St. John's.
I know. but they were great.
Yeah. Are you, the reading thing though, obviously there's something that's bringing you guys together on the importance of reading to children.
Yeah, so Regine just called me and asked me if I wanted to participate in the Sagwa
Sagwa Story Hour.
Story Hour. So I was excited. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, like this is being a new mother is such a life-changing experience. And now I'm kind of transitioning into more activities like this, which is so much fun.
Yeah.
So that was the second time I read to kids, and I was so nervous.
I know. You know why? Because they look at
They're really-
they look at your eyelashes, you know, and
a
the
lot of
toenails
times,
and
especially
things.
if it's, you know, a popular children's book,
Yeah.
they'll know if you skip a word.
Yeah.
They'll know if
Oh.
you skip a page. They're on it.
They
They're
were
like,
reading along when she was reading, so I had to read after her, and I'm just like, holy cow, and she's great, you know. So I'm trying to like mimic her and be enthusiastic and ask the kids
And
questions.
animate
they
it.
loved it. They
Yeah,
loved it. And
so-
the theme for last month's was animals. So we got to do all of these cool animal sounds and ask them. We did animals in Chamorro, so that was really fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that, I mean, it is once you said it doesn't happen all the time. It's not a regular thing like every week or weekend.
No, we're
right?
going to do it every month, the last Saturday of the month.
Okay.
So we'll have another one coming up. I believe it's February 27th.
Okay, and it's always at Sagwa though,
Always
right?
at Sagwa.
That's
Yeah,
the
so
thing.
you know the Ganya Library is closed down right now, and
Yeah.
there might not be as many venues for reading, so we really wanted to just give folks a chance to come out, and it's free,
Yeah.
open to the public, just bring your blanket and come lay down and listen
I
to
would
some
so fall
stories.
asleep. But I would so fall asleep. I love people to read to me. I like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it's
but
nice.
but it's what's really, I think the concept of reading to children. Well, it's not even a concept. I mean, to read to children and the value that is placed in that is a practice that a lot of parents don't necessarily have time for. I know that most parents, they recognize the value of reading to your kids or the value of learning how to read as early as the child can learn, but they don't always have time for it. That's the problem. Were you
Yeah.
guys, now tell me, did you grow up like that? Was your mother like a reader and your father, did they always read to you? Or
So
was
my
it?
mom definitely read to us, and then when my sister and I started reading, we would, oh man, shoot, lights out, girls, and we're underneath the blankets with our flashlights, like reading, and bringing books into their bed and reading to them.
Yeah.
So we were super excited about reading, and I was really excited to be able to share that with my girls. Mia is super, she reads everything and anything at all.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia, Harry Potter, you name
Whatever-
it, she's
whatever
on it.
is,
Yeah.
We're gonna have to take a commercial break here, but when we come back, I want to kind of pick your brain about what you are seeing mothers now, how it differs from what, if there is a difference in the method that you, the kind of mother that you would as opposed to what your mother might have been, or how you were raised, and what differences there are. I'm going to pick her brain. I know.
let's do this.
I'll put her on the spot. What kind of mother are you going to be? We are something to talk about. We're Kings into Mooning. We're going to bite some food. We'll be right back. Yeah, go ahead. Welcome back to Something to Talk About. Guests today, Sarah Philish and Regine Biscoe-Lee. They have both been involved lately in the Sagwa Story Hour, which is a cool concept. We just had a conversation about the importance of reading. And then I told Sarah that she had to prepare to answer questions about motherhood because she's 7 months into her pregnancy.
No pressure.
No pressure. You know what's really weird? I don't know if it's a generational thing, but my grandfather, who died at 100 years old, never used to like to use that word pregnancy. My grandfather always said that the best way and most respectful way to acknowledge a woman carrying is she is carrying. Like you're carrying.
Oh, that's what
yeah,
you
as
referred
opposed
to.
to you're pregnant. For some reason that didn't. He just thought it was not as a respectable way to describe a woman. She's in term or something. It was always something. I thought it was really nice.
With child.
With child, that was the word.
Yeah,
He would say that
that's
she
nice.
was with child, and I thought that having been pregnant 3 times, it didn't bother me because it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he probably would have just not been happy me having breastfeeding time in the kitchen table for sure. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure of it.
Times are changing.
I tell you,
That's
but you know what? And you were making a comment. As much as times have changed, so much of this stays the same, because everything that you're doing is based on whatever values you were taught. I mean, we're only as good mothers as our own mothers were, right? Yeah, and we only know how to be that way based on what our mothers were, right?
Yeah,
That's so,
true.
How'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in a very strict household. My mother is very old school. She came from a different generation. So my mother was probably one of the oldest mothers in my class. So, and she was raised in a very strict household. So a lot of that came down from my grandmother. So,
And her mother's Chamorro.
my mother's Chamorro. And let's just say, okay, I'm 27 years old. When I found out I was pregnant, I cried because I knew my mother was going to kill me. I'm 27 years old, and the first thing that came to my mind when I found out I was
I said the
pregnant,
same thing.
my mother's.
I was worried about my mom's reaction too. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I'm
So
still.
did you have to go? Did you have to go and kind of do that?
With the head down.
Yeah, with the head down.
Oh my goodness! I didn't tell my mother until 2 weeks after I found out because I was preparing myself.
Right.
I'm still terrified of my mother.
Oh yeah.
So,
Is she gonna get mad at all of
That's
us because we're doing?
No,
We're not
no.
talking behind your back.
No, she knows this.
Okay.
Yeah, I told her.
Okay.
So I told her she's scary. She still scares me. So
So funny.
But I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the woman I've become today.
Yeah.
I really respect my mom. we fight a lot, and
And one mother doesn't, yeah.
But I still am afraid, and I
So who had more of an influence over you when you were growing up? Was it your mother?
it was my mother.
She was the one.
Yes.
But you were mentioning that you were also Karita to your grandmother.
Yes.
So you were the favored child from your grandmother.
Hey,
Yes.
your siblings might be watching.
Well, every sibling must know that you know whoever's got the microphone was the most favorite
There you
child.
go.
That's how I say it. Yes.
But yes, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother.
Yeah.
Like after school or after work, I was there and
Yeah.
taking her around, running errands with me, and now she's, unfortunately she's bedridden now, so I pretty much stepped up to the plate and helping my mother take care of her,
Yeah.
which is great because I'm
Yeah.
pregnant and
It's the greatest honor, really.
Yeah.
It is a woman's greatest honor to be there for her, for a loved one, especially a female at
Yes.
their most time of need. Are you going to raise your child in a strict household?
You know what? I say I'm not going to, but I really just don't know yet. You know, like
Do you
see
feel
how
your
it
mother,
goes.
your mother speaking to you?
I'm like transforming into her. It's crazy. I mean,
What is it? Are you worried about the baby like doing something to hurt themselves, or are you controlled? Are you worried about their environment, the
You know
environment they're going to be in?
I think it really depends on how because I'm having a boy, I think it really depends on how he turns out, because my mother was the strictest on me because I was the most daredevil, fearless child. I was always going
that's
missing,
right.
climbing trees.
Yeah.
I was
Because you
giving
scared
her-
the living daylights
I
out of her.
wonder.
That's why.
So,
She had a tight rope on you.
so
Okay.
that's why I'm kind of happy I'm not having a girl, because if she
Oh,
was
that would be
spitting image of
honestly,
me,
yeah. But one day you might.
I
know
know.
what I mean? That's the thing.
So,
And they're
Preparing
a whole
myself. I'm still
nother
That's
preparing
a whole
myself.
other
That's a
adventure.
whole nother adventure.
Yeah, but Regine, you grew up in a Chamorro household, but your mother-in-law is Korean,
Yes.
and she lives in
is.
Korea. So there's
No, she
She
lives
lives here?
part of the time here and then
Okay.
part of the time she spends in Korea. But yeah, that's kind of a total
Cultural
culture shock.
thing, right?
And they have been here since the 70s. My in-laws actually ran my club in Anigua, so they've been here a
Hey.
really long time. I know they're really hip and.
no kidding, man.
But they actually helped a lot of other Korean nationals to come to Guam and start families and businesses here. So
Yeah.
it's really kind of neat, and she's pretty well respected in the Korean community, and I'm very proud of her.
But is there a cultural difference, like the way
Oh,
that Andy grew up and the way that?
Absolutely. As soon as Andy walks into that house, he's gonna kill me for saying this. Like,
Sorry,
he
Andy.
just reverts into like a crazy child. Like he just, starts.
He becomes his mother's
He
son.
starts undressing, takes his shirt off. She's feeding him like kimchi jjigae, like from the kitchen, and he just leaves things all over the place. I'm like, you need to pick that up. This isn't your house anymore. Like he's just acting like
Yeah,
he's
he's like,
so
who are you?
cool.
Telling me what? Oh, you're my wife. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that, babe. Sorry. It's really
Oh, isn't that
interesting.
funny?
That's
But
hilarious.
I gotta say, with regards to the way I raised my children and the way my mom raised us,
Uh-huh.
I felt like, I always felt like, and you might feel this way too, you have the best mother in the world, right? You love your mother so much, and I love my mother so much, but I never realized how awesome and how great she really was until she became a grandmother. And I'm so excited for you to see the way
Is this
your
going to be your
mom-
mom's first grandchild? Are you
No,
are you
no,
the
no.
first giver? Oh, okay.
But I'm the
You're-
baby. I'm the baby.
Your
So
sister
Oh,
just had
yeah.
a baby, right?
my sister just had a baby a month ago.
But
Okay.
it just transforms your whole family when
Yeah.
you bring
Oh yes,
children. Yeah,
it
it's beautiful.
definitely does. It's like my mother, when she had her first grand, she became like a single mother again.
Totally different
Like
person.
she was taking him out, and she was like dressing young. And she's like slimming
You know,
down.
you know why?
Great.
Because when you
Excited.
become a grandmother, everybody thinks that you're the. Oh my God!
Right? Look at that.
Sarah, that's all you, girl. No way.
That's over.
What is that?
Aries.
Now, here's the thing. Kings is showing off today. They're showing off today
That's
because they got
bigger
some
than usual.
beauties in the. I know, right? It's bigger than usual. Like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
hear there's a 7-month pregnant woman in the house. Well, that's all right. Hack at it, girls. Okay, okay. So, okay. No, don't. Here, use this one because I think I dipped something in there. Might be fit a Denny. Did you bring any pickles with this? Kidding. Sorry.
I'm eating my pickles.
But that's so true. That's so true. But grandmothers are not like the grandmother that you grew up with or grandmother that you grew up with. Grandmothers today are a whole. I mean, they're younger for sure.
My
Oh my
mom
gosh.
is like in the backyard with these girls. They're like either planting trees or blowing bubbles and rolling around. I feel like she has so much more energy. I drop these kids off and I'm exhausted.
Oh yeah.
And they're out there with grandma until like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Then they come in, they have a bunch of like ice cream treats and stuff. I'm telling you, they rule over there.
Oh no, that's what you're supposed to do. Roddy told me that one time when we were at, I picked him up from school, and he said, my mom said that I can't go to, I can't remember what it was. Oh, Yogurtland. I can't go to Yogurtland. I go, did she?
You're like, but I'm the boss of
What
everybody,
time would
so-
you like to go? And so normally I don't usurp, anything, but and I don't try to overrule her. But when he told me that she didn't want me to, he didn't want, he couldn't go get, yogurt. It was like, that's an
Well,
assault on me.
Like my dad also, he's the same way. I was like, okay, this is a couple years ago. Mia's turning 3, so we want to give her first bite of chocolate ice cream. He's like, first bite of chocolate ice cream? She's been having chocolate ice cream every Friday. Are you kidding me?
Well, you know what's really weird? The role was reversed. The role was reversed with Riley because I told her not to feed him. Go for it. Because she's pregnant.
Get away with everything.
Get away with everything. She didn't mind him eating like some of the childhood foods that I let her eat back in the day.
Okay.
So I would not allow him to have any sugar in his diet for the first year. He learned how to eat tomatoes like they were apples.
Good grandma.
I mean, and he would whack that before he would whack fries, or something like that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's kind of interesting because how the roles change. But anyway, your due date is coming up. Are you Frank going to be in the room and all that stuff?
Of course.
Yeah. Is he really excited about this?
He's like, hurry up. Like, babe, I can't do anything.
They did a video. She actually did a video, and she posted it on Facebook where you guys went. That was pretty cool. You guys went to get to find out the sex of the baby, the gender of the baby, and tell me what happened, how that worked out when you came out, because I was bawling my eyes out. I was bawling my eyes out.
Excited.
What happened? You came out of the room, and did you tell Roman it was a boy? Is that how we went?
No, we couldn't film me finding out the sex. So then when we actually left the room, that's when he filmed it, and he asked me, Roman Dela Cruz, and he asked me what I'm having, and I started crying, and I said I'm having a boy.
Yeah.
It's so funny because so many people came up to me telling me that they started crying at that moment
Yeah.
Because they were all excited and
Well, yeah, because
eagerly
awesome.
anticipated
I think you
birth
guys
right
are like
now.
the cutest couple on the planet anyway, so that works out that way.
Yeah.
Listen, look out for the Sagwa Story Hour happening at the last Saturday, you said? Last Saturday of every month. It's free.
It's free.
Is there
open to
always
the
a
public.
theme of the subject?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
So
how
this
are they going to find out what that
upcoming
theme is?
one, Check us out on Facebook. So check out actually Sagwa Minyagu and Mariana's Physicians Group on
Okay.
Facebook.
Make your kids read. Thanks,
Yeah,
ladies.
thank
Appreciate it.
you.
Thanks for
Love
having
you
us.
too.
Thanks for the ice cream.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kings. That's it for Something to Talk About. See you next time. Yay.
Yay.